The city of Hong Kong is a diverse and unique place. It has its secrets, some it'd like to keep hidden, and some it's just not possible. On this episode, we'll take a look at 7 intriguing facts about the city of Hong Kong. Number 7. Powered by coal. The majority of Hong Kong's power comes from a coal power plant located on Lamma Island. This small island off the southern shore of Hong Kong has 2 small harbors with a few tourist attractions, mostly being food stalls. There's a ferry service from Hong Kong's downtown harbor that goes to both ferry terminals on the island, which is handy considering there's a nice hike that goes between the harbors on Lamma Island. The coal power plant looks very unnaturally placed on the island, nestled within a bay. Along the hike just past the power plant, you'll encounter the most unexpected of things, a honey salesman. His colony of bees makes honey on the island, to which he sells to tourists and locals hiking the path. And for those of you wondering what the honey tastes like, it doesn't taste anything like North American honey. It has its own unique taste which really can't be described. Number 6. Urban Garden. Hong Kong is home to one of the most beautiful urban gardens in the world. The Chi Lin Nunnery was founded in 1934 as a retreat for Buddhist nuns. The grounds are immaculately cared for, with every plant being hand-trimmed. Within the gardens is a large Buddhist nunnery, which is the world's largest hand-built wooden building using no nails. Nuns and monks can be found on the grounds daily, as well as a boatload of tourists. You're likely to see many species of plants you've never seen before, most notably the rows of impressive bonsai trees. If you want to see and learn more about the Chi Lin Nunnery, I have an entire video on it linked in the card above. Number 5. Unique and superstitious build design. The buildings of Hong Kong are not designed with just random ideas and shapes in mind. There are a few principles that are followed when the design of a building is drawn up. Feng Shui has a prominent role in how the buildings are designed, how the buildings are oriented, and the direction that the entrance is facing. Building designs are often reviewed with a Feng Shui expert to make sure the rules are not being broken. Airflow is another very important factor. Hong Kong is very hot and humid for much of the year. Due to space restrictions, most households don't have room for a conventional Western clothes dryer, so instead they hang dry their clothing. For this to work, airflow is needed, so when buildings are being designed, there needs to be a gap between the units so each unit can create airflow and dry their own clothes. Buildings built in Hong Kong don't have the floor number 4. In elevators, you'll just see 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, etc. This is due to the fact that the Cantonese word for 4 sounds very similar to the word death. Number 4. Density. If you haven't been to Asia before, then stepping off an airplane in Hong Kong will blow your mind. The buildings are tall, very tall, with an average height between 60 and 90 stories tall. Hong Kong is built on the side of a mountain and houses over 7.3 million people, meaning the best solution for their rising population is to go up. Huge skyscrapers have been built there over 50 years, and they seem to just get taller every year. Almost every train station on the MTR or Mass Rail Transit line has a full-fledged mall attached to it. If you tried to shop at all the malls in a single day, you wouldn't even make it through half of them. The most populated area of Hong Kong is on the Kowloon side in an area called Mong Kok. Not only is Mong Kok the most densely populated area of Hong Kong, it's the most densely populated place in the world. Number 3. Weird businesses in weird places. You might wonder how certain businesses can exist there when there's simply no space for them in Hong Kong. For example, where would they have room for a building material store like Home Depot or Lowe's, or maybe just a simple gas station? Hong Kong has themed streets where everything can be found in one location. Now this isn't true for everything, but almost everything. For example, construction materials can be found on the construction street, where each store specializes in something different such as light bulbs, lumber, bathroom fixtures, hardware, tools, etc. There's also a street dedicated to fish tanks and aquariums, as well as another street just for shoes. Electronics and cameras are found on another street, just as birds can be found on the bird street. These streets aren't all located in just one place, they're peppered throughout Hong Kong, so you'll have to know where to find them. As for gas stations, they operate just as you'd expect, with a place to drive up to the pump, but the main difference is there's an 80-story skyscraper built on top of them, which is something you'd never see in North America or Europe. Number 2. Located close to the Vegas of Asia. Hong Kong is a short boat ride to Macau, which has been dubbed the Vegas of Asia. Construction is massive and rapid in Macau, where the gambling goes on day and night. 24-hour boat service from Hong Kong to Macau is already in place, with a massive overwater bridge being designed and constructed to physically connect the two cities. Macau was once a Portuguese settlement. The buildings still remain, but the culture today is very much Chinese. In Macau today, there are still plenty of signs of the foreign settlement, but these are in the old town areas. Heading over to the newly developed areas, you'll see casinos, lots of casinos. If you want to visit this place, you'll be welcomed with open arms if you have a passport from certain countries like a Canadian passport. A Canadian going to China, on the other hand, would have to apply for a temporary visa to visit. Number 1. Pink dolphins. The pink dolphins in the waters of Hong Kong are a popular tourist attraction, but it wasn't always this way. To see them, you'll need to head over to Lantau Island, which is a large, mostly underdeveloped island. There's a small fishing village on the far side of the island which runs tours to go see the pink dolphins, but getting there was very difficult before the new Hong Kong airport was built. Hong Kong's airport was once right in the main harbor on reclaimed land. Pilots would have to approach at unscrupulous angles, making it one of the most dangerous airports to land a plane. Growing demands applied a lot of pressure, so the Hong Kong government moved the airport to the massive new facility on Lantau Island. By doing so, they added a lot of new infrastructure like new MRT train lines and properly developed paved roads. This also helped with tourism of the giant Buddha that sits on the backside of the mountain on Lantau Island. Sadly today, due to pollution and too much tourism, the pink dolphins are starting to disappear. The tours themselves to see the pink dolphins are not all that great. They basically run in 20-minute increments, where a boat guide will floor the boat from the harbor all the way to where the pink dolphins are, and you'll spend about 5 to 10 minutes sitting there waiting for the dolphins, at which point the boat driver will turn the boat around and floor it all the way back to the harbor.